Many people feel sad when they don't get good results in life. Some say, I can't do anything. Others choose a different path, not because they love it, but because their parents or society tell them to do so. But here is the question. If you do not listen to your inner voice, can you ever feel real success? Today's story will teach us that education is not just about passing exams. It is a way to understand yourself and become who you truly are. People around you may talk about many success stories. You may think, if I follow that path, maybe I will succeed too. But real life is not that simple. Until you know your true interest, other people's stories will only feel like distant lights, nice to look at, but far away. The world is full of people who followed someone else's dream and spent their entire lives feeling empty inside. They have money, they have status, but they don't have peace. They don't have that fire in their hearts that comes from doing what you truly love. Let's try to understand what lesson today's story gives us. This is not just a story about success. It is a story about finding yourself in a world that constantly tells you who you should be. At the edge of a peaceful town, where the morning mist rolled gently over green meadows and the sound of horses neighing echoed through the valleys, lived a young man named Sam. Life in that area was slow and quiet, the kind of place where everyone knew everyone, where time seemed to move at its own gentle pace. The town was small, surrounded by farms and open fields that stretched as far as the eye could see. Sam was active and cheerful by nature, the kind of young man who could make anyone smile with his energy and enthusiasm. But for the past few days, something had changed. He looked worried and stayed alone, his usual brightness dimmed by confusion and doubt. His friends noticed the change but didn't know what to say. That year, Sam finished his high school exams, and while his classmates celebrated and made plans for university, Sam stood at a crossroads. Unlike his friends, who were excitedly applying to colleges, filling out forms, and dreaming about their future careers, he was not trying to get into any university. In fact, he did not want to study anymore, at least not in the traditional way. This was not because of money or lack of opportunity. His family had a large 20-acre horse farm, one of the finest in the region. They were one of the richest families in that area, known for breeding some of the healthiest and most beautiful horses anyone had ever seen. But wealth and opportunity meant nothing to Sam if he didn't know what he truly wanted. Sam could not understand his school lessons, no matter how hard he tried. Mathematics felt like a foreign language. History dates blurred together in his mind. Science experiments confused him more than they enlightened him. He was not interested in any subject that his teachers taught. The classroom felt like a prison to him, every lesson a burden rather than a gift. So he decided to take a break from formal education and use that time to understand himself better, to find out what made his heart beat faster, what made him feel alive. He knew this decision disappointed some people, but he also knew that living someone else's dream would be far worse than taking time to find his own path. One morning, while helping his father tend to the horses, Sam spoke about how he was feeling. The stable smelled of fresh hay and leather, the horses breathing softly in their stalls. His father, Mr. David, was a wise man who had seen much in his life. Even though he was middle-aged, with silver streaking through his hair and lines of experience on his face, he did not get angry at his son's confession. Instead, he smiled warmly, that knowing smile of someone who had once stood exactly where Sam stood now. He said, "Sam, I have a small task for you. I want you to meet 3 people." Then he wrote down their names and addresses on a piece of paper, his handwriting neat and deliberate. "Tell them that you are the son of the man with the golden leg. Ask them how they became successful. Their stories will help you find answers to your questions. Listen not just with your ears, but with your heart." Since Sam liked all kinds of work except studying in classrooms, he became interested in his father's task immediately. Physical work, helping others, training horses, all of these things brought him joy. He asked with genuine curiosity, "Dad, why do people call you the man with the golden leg? I've heard this name my whole life, but never understood it." His father smiled mysteriously and said, "You will learn that from them. But remember, listen to them carefully. Pay attention not just to what they say, but to how they live. I believe that after this journey, you will understand what you want in life. Sometimes the answers we seek are not in books or advice, but in the stories of those who have walked before us." Sam rode his horse to the first person on the list the very next morning. The journey took him through beautiful countryside, past fields of golden wheat swaying in the breeze. His home was about 2 kilometers away from Sam's farm. There, Sam met a strong old man, Mr. Andres, a successful athlete who had won many medals. His walls were covered with photographs and certificates, evidence of a life spent pursuing excellence. His body, though aged, still carried the strength and posture of an athlete. When Sam said, "I'm the son of Mr. David," the man people call the one with the golden leg, Mr. Andres gave a warm smile. Old memories seemed to come alive in his eyes, as if Sam's words had unlocked a treasure chest of forgotten moments. Sam said he wanted to know how Mr. Andres became successful, how he found his way in life. Mr. Andres gestured for Sam to sit and began his story with a gentle laugh. "I ranked 38th out of 40 students in our class. Can you imagine? I was never a good student. My teachers thought I would never amount to anything. My parents worried constantly. But the only thing I loved was sports, especially running. When I ran, I felt free. When I ran, the world made sense. In the first year of serious training, I improved my speed and endurance. In the second year, I learned from my mistakes, studied my failures, understood what held me back. In the third year, I learned the best techniques from coaches who believed in me. I didn't enjoy studying textbooks, so I just kept running. I ran every day for 5 years, rain or shine, through pain and exhaustion. After that, I won my first medal. It was small, nothing prestigious, but it meant everything to me. Then I kept winning one race after another. The medals came because I never stopped doing what I loved. After hearing this, Sam was very surprised and deeply moved. He understood something important that no classroom had ever taught him. Success comes from getting better at something you love. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't have to be academic or traditional. It just has to be yours. Sam went to visit his father's second friend, Mr. Thomas. He also remembered that he needed to ask about his father's nickname. This time he arrived at a large modern house with a beautiful garden. He was surprised again. Mr. Thomas was the owner of his family's favorite restaurant, the place they went for celebrations. They used to go there often, and Sam had always loved the food without knowing the story behind it. After Sam introduced himself, Mr. Thomas welcomed him with joy and led him to a comfortable sitting area. Sam asked respectfully, "Can you please tell me your success story?" Mr. Thomas laughed heartily and said, "I was ranked 39th out of 40 in school, even worse than your father's friend Andres. I used to talk a lot in class, but I didn't understand anything well. My mind was always somewhere else, dreaming about food. I only loved two things: eating and talking. Because I loved food, I started to enjoy cooking. I learned to cook by making the things I wanted to eat, experimenting in my mother's kitchen. One day, someone praised my cooking and said, 'You should start selling your food.' That simple comment changed everything. In the first year, I didn't make a profit, but my love for cooking helped me keep going through the hard times. I learned better recipes, better ways to sell food, and how to attract more customers through quality and passion. After 5 years, I opened my first small restaurant. And now you can see it has grown so big, with 3 locations. Sam felt very inspired. He understood that you can be successful even without high grades or university degrees. Mr. Thomas smiled warmly and said, "To succeed, you only need one skill that you develop with love. Just keep doing what you love. One day, you will definitely succeed because passion is the fuel that never runs out." Now, Sam was on his way to the last house, his mind full of thoughts. He thought, maybe now I will meet the person who ranked 40th in school, completing the pattern. But to his surprise, this man was the top student, ranked first in the class. However, His house was much simpler than the two big houses Sam had just seen, modest and humble. Sam knocked on the door, and a kind gentleman named Mr. Miguel welcomed him in. After introducing himself, Sam asked, "What is your secret to success?" Mr. Miguel smiled.